Hey, what's up guys? Gary Gilgan here. Day 4 of the 90-day challenge. Feeling super good. I just realized I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing yesterday. No big deal. But anyways, so today I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to lay out my 90-day goals for my relationships. This is hands down, this is the toughest area for me as far as like intimate relationships goes. As far as like friends and relationships like that, I mean, I definitely don't have a problem making new friends, relating to people or anything like that. I don't feel like I have a problem with that at all. But definitely I have, especially this past relationship has really taught me that I have some really destructive sabotaging patterns that I've played out in my relationships in the past. So I'm super grateful. If you watch video number 1, I'm super grateful for the experience that I've had in this relationship. I'm just so grateful to Danny for being my teacher and for kind of bringing out these patterns, for bringing out these obstacles that I need to get over. And I'm just so grateful for her patience and for her strength through this whole situation. So that being said, let's get started. I'm super excited for the next 90 days to see where especially my relationships go. Because I mean, relationships are number one. Everything that we get in life comes from another person. No matter what you do, we are all connected. We're all one. So the better you are relationship wise and making relationships with people and keeping relationships, just the better your life's going to be. So let's get started. Let's have some fun. So I'm going to try to go through this. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep these videos to a minimum. So relationships, what do I want? I want a loving, respectful, harmonious, fun, exciting, spontaneous relationship. That's definitely one thing that I let really go in my past relationship, in my relationship with Danny. Something that a laurel that I really rested on was keeping things fun, keeping things excited. I let things get monotonous, mundane, not exciting. It just got to the point where it was just, we were in a routine and the routine was boring. The routine wasn't spontaneous, it wasn't exciting, it wasn't fun, it wasn't full of passion. And it only, what I've noticed or what I've learned, over the past few weeks, over this past month, in retrospect, looking at over my relationship over the past 2 years, is that, man, it's really not hard to just do simple little things every single day to let that other person know that you love them, that you care about them, that you're thinking about them, to keep that spice in the relationship. But I mean, for me at least, I was holding on to all of the things that were pissing me off or annoying me about Danny, and that's just not a way to live. That's not a way to have a relationship, and that will just completely destroy a relationship. So number 2 is I want a family that's full of love and support and understanding. Me growing up, my parents are just the best people ever. There was always this mutual respect. I never had them kind of breathing down my neck or controlling me or being overprotective. I knew that it was an open relationship. I could always talk to them about anything, even to this day. Even if, they think I'm crazy or whatnot, I know that I always have a safe place to go to share my emotions and share my feelings. And I want to take that to the next level with my family. I want a woman to feel loved and valued. I've learned again, reciprocity is that if I give love, if I'm constant, if she's the number one thing that I'm thinking about and that I'm focused every day, we'll get that to the last questions here, is that if I'm always focused on, man, how can I bring her up? How can I make her feel loved? How can I make her feel valuable? Then I know that by the law of reciprocity that boom, it will come back to me, rather than how I used to live is, sitting back and waiting and kind of pointing my finger saying, well, what are you going to do for me? What are you bringing to the table? And that's just, again, living like that. I'm an example based on this relationship and how I used to live my life is, man, it will ruin a relationship. I want a deep, open, honest communication with my kids. like I said, man, growing up, my parents were always very straightforward, not a lot of beating around the bush. We were very open with our communication, with love, with affection. I always saw my parents being affectionate with each other. They were always affectionate with me every single night. Even now, I kiss my mom, I kiss my dad when I see them. I love them. That's a sign of love for us. I want to surround myself with people who are consistently working on bettering their lives, people who are already successful and who can share their strategies to help us. So that's kind of, break relationships up into two categories. You've got your family, your intimate relationships, with your wife, with your spouse, with your kids, with your mom and dad. And then you've got your social relationships, your friends, your work colleagues, those types of relationships. So I want to surround myself with people who are already successful, people who are already getting the results that I'm striving for in my life. I want to surround myself with those people and pick their brains and learn the strategies that they're using to get the result that they're getting. Why? Because I believe that by accomplishing these things and having these goals in my life, I'll be much happier, I'll be much fulfilled, but much more fulfilled. It'll be challenging. I thrive off challenge. I thrive off of change. So I love change. I love challenge. Service and selflessness. These are two big things that I'm really focused on practicing and implementing and making them a part of my character, is being a person of service rather than selfishness. Instead of, what can I get out of this? It's all about how can I help? How can I provide value for your life? And selflessness rather than selfishness. Love, I'll have much more love, fun, excitement, and gratitude in my life. So the whys are always the underlying emotional reasons why we go after anything in life. What do I need to do and what do I not need to do, or what do I need to stop doing in order to accomplish my goals? Number one is I have to be 100% committed. 100% committed. Commitment, at least in my intimate relationships, is something that I used to always struggle with, but I've never been so committed. I understand. It's weird how we have experiences in our life that teach us the meaning of things. I didn't really understand the meaning of commitment until it's like that song, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And having something and having time away really allows one to reflect on their actions and the way that they live their life. And to me, it's really learning about commitment. And commitment is all about trusting, trusting that the other person is going to be as committed as you are. Practicing love every day, like I talked about in the beginning of this video, is, I really don't think that love is not really this emotion that fills you up. At least for a man, it's not like an emotion where, we're giddy and we have that kind of, just that giddy feeling. I got this word on the top of my tongue, but I can't think about it. But love is service. Love, to me, love is wanting other people, whether it's your wife and kids and your parents and your siblings. It's wanting their happiness more than your own happiness. So to me, it's simple. It's making sure that other person knows that they're loved and valued, whether it's text messages every day, little love notes every day, flowers, candy, ice cream, whatever it is that makes that person light up and makes that person feel special. Those are the things you got to practice every single day to keep the relationship hot, to keep the relationship, Twitter-pated, that was the word I was looking for, to keep you and that other person Twitter-pated. Because I believe when you do those things, when you're taking the time to write the text and send the text, or write the love letter, or going out of your way to get the other person ice cream or something like that, you get filled full of this emotion that makes you feel good. What do I got to do? I got to communicate. I got to really work on my communication and being more open about how I feel and my emotions and things like that. A big thing is doing things together, making sure that we're growing closer as a couple rather than growing apart. And that simply means you know, finding things that we both want to do, you know, whether it's going to the gym, going to yoga, cooking dinner together, going on vacations, going on adventures, just finding out things, getting to know your partner, and always getting to know your partner, because people are always changing. And since people are always changing, if you're always focused on the person that they were, then you're never going to be growing. You're never going to be growing together. So it's always about what can we be doing. When you first get married, your partner might not be into motorcycles. But then after 20 years of being together, your partner really might be into motorcycles. So you got to say, oh yeah, well I'm going to go and get into motorcycles with you because I want to grow our relationship together. You know what I'm saying? Practicing servitude. So again, a lot of these things are just going to keep on going back to themselves, but just being of service, being, you know, I don't want to get religious, but talking about like Jesus always talked, like washing people's feet, being of service, putting other people before yourself. That's what service is all about. And when it comes to my social relationships, it is being more social, being more friendly, being more outgoing. Because I'm sure if you're anything like me, there's times where my intuition or whatever is going on inside me, it sparks. It gives me an idea. Hey, go approach that person. Oh, hey, do this or do that. And we don't do it. You got to do it. Just like Nike says, just do it. And I think a lot of us don't do it because we feel like, hey, we might get rejected or we might get turned down. Well, who cares? The more you practice going out of your way, the more you practice being social and being outgoing and being more bold, the stronger it will make you. Moving on, what beliefs do I have to have? So number one is my family and relationships are the source of my happiness. Nothing is more important than making sure my family knows that I love and value them. Those are big beliefs that, you know, you gotta have, that I have to have in order to make my family, my relationships, my woman feel number one. Is money doesn't come first, business doesn't come first, you know, family comes first. Love, making sure that they know I love them and that I'm practicing love, and that they know that they're always special, they can always come to me, that I'm, you know, that they're rock, I'm their rock. They know they always have someone in me. What values do I have to practice? Being loving, being caring, serving, selfless, thoughtful, outgoing, passionate, spontaneous, and bold. Just simple things. And I mean, I'm sure if you watch my other videos, you see that, man, if I practice all of those, and a lot of these values roll onto other goals. So if you practice being loving to not only your wife and kids, but to your employees, to your employer, to your partners, to your clients, if you're loving to everybody and you practice the value, if being loving is a part of your character, so like let's say, here's how you would determine someone's values. When someone dies, if I died, what are people going to say about me? And I mean, that's very important to me. If I ever die, I want people to have good things to say about me. That he was a loving, caring, serving, selfless, thoughtful, outgoing, passionate, spontaneous, bold person. I don't want people to say, oh, dude, he was a piece of shit. I don't want anybody, if nobody shows up to my funeral, because I was a selfish piece of shit. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that. So that's how you determine what someone's values are. Is if they died, what would you say about them? And I know I've done some messed up things. I've hurt people. I'm definitely not perfect. But every single day is a new opportunity for us to turn those things around and to change our character. And that's why I'm making these videos. That's my intention, is to change my character, to change my results, and hopefully inspire you to go out there and look at your life and look at the things that how you could change your life. And then finally, what questions do I have to ask constantly? What things do I have to program into my mind so that I can make all this happen? Number one is, what can I do today to ensure that Danny knows and feels loved and valued? Number one. She's my partner in life. She's my best friend. She's my number one. I have to constantly be thinking about how can I make her feel that way? How can I make her feel like she is just the queen, that she means everything to me? Number 2 is, what can I do today so my kids know and feel loved and valued? Especially when they're coming up, you know, and growing up, it's so vitally important that your kids know that you love them, that you value them, that you support them, rather than that they're just like a mistake, you know? Rather than that they're just like this burden in your life that, fuck, you know, I got these kids and they're a pain in my ass, you know? They feel that. So you gotta, for me at least, because I'm only talking from my own experience, and I don't want to sound cliche, but that Whitney Houston song, I believe that children are the future. I believe that my kids are the most advanced beings that have ever been brought to this planet. So it's my duty to cultivate them, to support them, and to love them, and to do everything in my power to bring them up until, you know, they can kind of take the training wheels off on life, and they can start kicking ass on their own and supporting themselves. You know, hopefully by the age of 5, they're moved out and they get a job. But until then, I got to take care of them. And I got to make sure they know I love them and that they're valuable to me, they're valuable to this world, and that they're supported. And then finally, what can I do today to be more outgoing and friendly so that I can make new friends? Because, I mean, it's weird how even a simple hello, you know, or small talk can just change. It could bring you $1 billion. It could bring you the relationship of your dreams. It could bring so much into your life just saying hi. And just a quick example, then I got to get out of here, is there's a guy named Sven at the grocery store I always go to, and I just started by saying hey, and then every time I go in there, I must have a familiar face. Every time, hey, how's it going? Just getting to know him, just a little small talk while I'm paying for my groceries. And now it's next thing is like, oh, dude, I found he's a guitar player, he's an artist, he does all these things, he's playing these shows. Oh yeah, heck yeah, I'm going to go support him, man, and go check him out and listen to his music and watch him play. Who knows what can happen from that relationship? But if you just sit in a cave all day and you don't go out and you're not meeting new people, you're not going to get anything. So everything comes full circle. I started this video by stating that we get everything in life. You know, happiness, love, fulfillment, money, spiritual connection. Everything in our life comes from connecting with other people. You're never going to get anywhere. In fact, your nails are going to get super long and ugly. Your facial hair, if you're a guy, is just going to get long and ugly. And you're going to have ugly hair if you just sit in your room, in a dark room all day long, just doing nothing, not getting out there, not meeting new people, not doing anything. So that's your prerogative. You can go do it. I'm not trying to live that life, so I got to work on my relationships. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to making more. That's what I got. 90 days. Got a big elephant to eat. One bite at a time, one day at a time. I know what to do. I'm super excited. Thanks again so much for watching these videos. Thank you so much to all the people who have always supported me. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. I hope you have a great day. See you tomorrow.